I have not done a live stream before. Apologies if this is a little rough or anything like that. This is a 4500U model, Ryzen 5 4500U, 16 gigs of memory, 256 gigabyte SSD. It comes with an IPS 14-inch 1080p panel and Windows 10 Home. This is the IdeaPad Flex 5 in the graphite gray color. So yeah, let's get this thing opened up and we'll take a look at what we actually got here. So this is a pretty plain looking cardboard box, but I wasn't expecting a whole bunch given that the laptop itself costs like $59.99 on Amazon. Kind of have to set your expectations there. It's a budget Lenovo machine, so it's probably not going to be like, you know, made of gold or anything like that. Yeah, it is pretty cheap for what you're getting. Yeah. So let's slide this out here. Yeah, that's, I think it is touch. Yeah, it's a 2-in-1. So it should be touch. So before we get to the laptop, we got generic safety and warranty guide. We have a stylus. It's just called the Lenovo Graphics Stylus, I'm pretty sure. This is a Wacom stylus. I think it uses AES. So any AES Wacom stylus you'll be able to use on this computer here. Also comes with this little holder that you can use to, you can plug this into like a USB-A Type A port. You plug this into a Type A port and then you can set the pen on that when you're drawing, like in the top or through, and have it on the side. So that's kind of neat. Luckily it comes with a battery because it's like a, I think it's a quadruple A battery actually. Yeah, it's a quadruple A battery. Hey Damien. The typical 65 watt Lenovo USB-C power brick, you know, what you expect. Hopefully it's charged. It's a fairly new system, so it probably shouldn't have died in the warehouse, so we should have some luck there. Just pop these little foam bumpers off. This or an iPad? That's a good question. I mean, if you like iPads, then I suppose you should get an iPad, but this definitely does a lot more than an iPad. And actually, initially after taking this out of the packing, this plastic that it's made out of, because I can tell immediately it's plastic, it actually feels really nice. Like, this Latitude 5401 I have here, this is like a very premium plastic finish. It's a high-end business machine. And like even in the palm rest actually feels the best. It's a very smooth, like, matte finish. And this plastic on this machine here, it feels lovely. Like if it was cold, like if it was cold out and I touched this, I might be mistaken that it was like an anodized aluminum or something. It's just that nice. I like it a lot already. Okay, so enough of gushing about the materials here. Let's take a look at things. Yeah, it does look really cool. I agree. I kind of like how they have this Lenovo logo here. It looks like it's like a little metal sticker that will probably come out over time, but that's fine. Not really, but the hinge is really light. It's not loose, it's light. You can see we have our "It's a great feeling" thing. Thank you for your purchase. Now register your product, Lily. Okay. And with all cheap computers, you get all of these lovely palm rest stickers. Like IdeaPad Flex 5. Let's see if I can, yeah. It's got a privacy shutter, 360-degree hinge, and front-facing speakers. And honestly, the palm rest, it's like it is slightly rubberized. It does have kind of like a rough, rugged, rubberized feel to it. I don't know how much I like it, that it's like that, but I mean, time will tell, so I'm not going to complain yet about that. Let's get this sticker off the webcam up here. Let's fire this up. Wrong side. Oh, actually, how do you turn this on? Oh, button right here. Yeah, flex stickers. Can I get this? Oh, do I need to plug? I bet I need to plug the AC adapter into it once. Hold on. Alright, so yep, my model comes with a USB-C charger. You can get a model later on to its life cycle that will come with like a standard barrel plug, because you can see here on the side there is a barrel plug connector there, which is kind of nice, but it's also soldered to the board, so there's not really much benefit to it besides redundant power circuitry. But yeah, so that's a thing on this computer. There's there's the little power LED. That's nice to have. Battery was clearly dead, so I guess they don't charge up the cheap laptops before they ship them or something. Now let's turn it on. There we go. Keyboard's lighting up. Ow. Hand. God. I cut my hand on my mic stand. It's not very good. Let's see if we can get this turned towards the camera more. There we go. So we're gonna do initial setup here because we need to do that. Yeah. Speaking of these hinges, yeah, they are like, I'm barely pushing on this. It did take a long time to turn on, but God, I might have to get a Band-Aid. I really sliced. I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help. A little yeah, just be quiet. I really sliced my hand on this mic stand. I'm gonna have to go get a Band-Aid. I'll be right back. Okay, well I'm back now. My hand's not sliced up anymore, so we can actually continue. Yep, so let's get this thing set up here. Keyboard so far feels pretty okay. I mean, it feels like pretty standard IdeaPad keyboard. Very similar to the one that was on my Yoga 730 I owned all that time ago. It's not terribly shallow. It's shallower than a ThinkPad keyboard, but not bad. We're going to go with the OEM install out of the box because why not? Can I not sign in with a Microsoft account, please? How does the display look? I think it looks okay. Nothing I can really say at the moment. It is about as bright as you'd expect a computer to be. It's supposedly a 250 nit screen. I don't have specific measurements on it, nor do I know what like model it is, so I can't say like what the actual readings are, but we'll look into that later. Loki just jumped to big brain level live stream laptop review. Well, you know, just live stream it. Why even make videos? Well, this is doing whatever. We can look at the stylus. It feels alright. About what you'd expect from a stylus. The top doesn't really do anything up here, unfortunately. You can see we have another one of those metal stickers with the Lenovo logo on the bottom right, so that's somewhat worth noting. Oh, cool. It really wants me to have a Microsoft account, doesn't it? Okay, well, whatever. I'll just... Can I back out of this? No. Okay, well, I'll just do it. Give me a second here. This is a... I don't know. This coding's odd. I'm typing on the keyboard right now. Alright, so now we're on the actual video capture here. And it wants me to set my fingerprint, so I'll do that. Touch it. Try another angle, okay. Alright, well I guess that was adequate. So now I'll set up a pin. Okay. So we'll close out of that. And yep, there's my wallpaper from the computer. My lovely whatever wallpaper. Turn the screen brightness up, it's a little dim. There we go. Yeah, so just to double check things, we have a Ryzen 5 4500U, 16 gigabytes of memory at 3200 megahertz. This is operating in dual channel. We have the 256 gigabyte SSD, and look at that, we have Realtek Wi-Fi. Isn't that nice? I love Realtek Wi-Fi. No, I hate it. It's terrible. It's arguably the worst Wi-Fi. I'll fire up the DPC latency tool, and we'll just take a look and see how it handles video and audio content online, just to make sure that everything's operating as it should. Okay, so one thing I want to mention, this does have a privacy thing on the webcam. Let me just get this closer so you can see. See if I can even get the camera to focus on this. Yep, there we go. So, yep, just give it a little push. And the camera is now off and closed. That's nice. Oh, great, I'm getting McAfee ads. We'll ignore that. We're going to download Chrome, because Chrome actually does video playback decently. We also got to download Latency Mon. So, does the screen look color accurate? Honestly, I would have to compare it to something else. I'm not 100% certain. It doesn't look terrible. It looks usable. I mean, it looks about as good as my crappy desktop monitors. So, I don't know. I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't look bad. That's what I'll say. It doesn't look bad. The viewing angles are good on it, so. Well, at least as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't have the proper tooling to really tell you. Yeah, it at least doesn't look washed out or bad like some monitors can. It looks like just like kind of I don't know how to say it really. Looks like a mid-range IPS panel. It doesn't look like anything too amazing or bad or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, if I got a laptop with this screen, I wouldn't be mad, especially at $600. It's not as bad as because there's actually a TN panel you can get for this. It's a 220 nit TN panel, and I think it's probably terrible. So I wouldn't recommend buying it. Because that just sounds like a bad time. Let's load up some 4K content. So youtube.com. This is pretty good actually so far. At least it's touch, yeah. Yep, that's true. If you wanted a version of this that wasn't touch, there's always the IdeaPad 5, which I think is pretty similar. But that's if you want that. Also, I don't have the mic pointed at the laptop, so you actually aren't hearing how good the speakers are. Let me take my headphones off for a second and just listen to this. Of nature's fury. You're now facing the laptop.
And remember this? It's just the beginning of Dolby Vision. Because what you thought was black isn't. This is black. This is contrast that reveals details deeper than any image you've seen on a screen. This is luminance that means the difference between white and pure energy.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. The dog's absolutely irate now that I've been playing noise, but yeah, I think the speakers are actually super nice. At least with the default processing on them. Yeah, so yeah, it does sound pretty good. I mean, I can always play some music later, but yeah, I mean, we were playing the video for like 2 minutes and it hasn't even gotten up to 1K, so that's actually really nice. The latency here is just great already. What's that? We have network driver latency. Interesting. Gaming. Yeah, good idea. I'm gonna probably do that here. Device settings and intelligent cooling. Let's go to extreme performance because that's what we're gonna want to be testing here. We'll turn this off for now because latency gets weird when you change power settings. So, try to paint something with the stylus to check the latency. Good idea. I agree with that. Yeah, and here's the little stylus thing in one of the USB ports, and you can just drop the pen and oh, no, I guess not. Just kind of falls out. So much for that idea. I thought that's how you use that, but I guess not. You put it in horizontal. Yeah, I know, but like it has a hole in the top, so it's a little kind of confusing. I'm gonna just draw a line here. Okay, yep, so yeah, the stylus is working pretty good. So let's continue on our testing adventure here. I guess the nice thing is about the stylus is it has this like ridge here. It has this ridge, and that prevents it from rolling. So like if you set it down, it won't roll very far. So that's nice. Still not a big fan of the material on this palm rest. It's very feels like it'll like cling to dirt a lot. It's one of those kind of textures. It's not terrible though. Just not my favorite material ever. Honestly, it's my opinion personally that like if you can't go with the premium materials, then you probably should just like not put weird finishes on the plastic. But that's pretty much just me complaining. So I mean, take that how you want. We're in better performance mode, so I'll just run the benchmark. And by the way, this won't impact the benchmarking at all because it's HDMI. I'm not doing like a video capture or anything. What we get is what you should expect. The fan noise, it's not an unpleasant fan noise. Yeah, so it looks like we got 1892 points in Cinebench. I'll run it one more time. I'll even put it in max performance mode. Why not? Boost. Probably thermal throttling? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We haven't actually opened the machine up, and we will do that soon. I think we should actually do it after this, is open the machine up and take a look at the internals, just to see what we're dealing with. I mean, I was under the impression that it's got a dual pipe cooler, but that might just be for a specific Intel variant. I don't know if the AMD variant has that. Let me check palm rest temps. Probably, yeah. Check up here. Yeah, so the worst we saw on the top's like 44C something, and that's like right up here where the fan outlet is, so not too bad. The whole keyboard deck is actually... Oh, wow. Yeah, we got a much better score that time. 2399. So that's more around where I expected to see the score. Yeah, the keyboard deck's actually not bad because plastic's insulating and it's insulating it, so... Remove the lowercase. Screws. Prop the latches and remove the lowercase. Okay. Alright, so do you want to see it opened? Torque screws of some kind. It doesn't really tell me. It's always nice. Yeah, we didn't look at the bottom of the machine, but there's actually a fair amount of ventilation down here. We'll be doing our testing with the Realtek module, despite me not liking them, because that's how it came out of the box. So, whoops. Here's what the inner side of the bottom case looks like, in case you wanted to know. And then, here are the insides. Yep, so we have the dual pipe cooler here. Yeah, the battery is actually fairly well sized. It's a 52 watt hour battery. Here we have the Realtek module. We have the dinky SSD. Interestingly, we have the soldered memory with a heat spreader, looks like, on top. I don't know what that is. A dual pipe cooler on top of the processor here. And a pretty well sized fan. Yeah, it is a dinky SSD. What's that? Is that like a chip? Yeah, it's just empty pads here. Not sure what that's supposed to be, but it's not there. I mean, besides all of the empty pads everywhere, I mean, looks pretty alright. Let me take a nice shot of the whole thing. I want to unplug the battery. I'm not going to touch anything in here. This is not an optimizations or undervolting video or anything, so you can actually see that most of the ventilation is actually covered up by this copper here, and that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so like if I hold this in the window here, you can see this is the portion that's actually open. Why is there ventilation if it's covered? Well, I I think that the point of this copper here, because this is like a little bit of like a copper heat spreader, is to just try and spread the heat around on the bottom so it's comfortable to use while on your lap or something. Because this will be cool, because that's where the air is traveling through. And you don't want this to be hot because that's right where the processor is. So I'm imagining that's there to try and shield the heat from your legs. But that's about all I can think of. It doesn't actually block the cooling fan, because if you look here, this is where the fan is. And it just sits on top, and you can see there's the fan right there. There. Yeah, it's right underneath this. So it's not having any trouble getting air by any means. It's just the rest of the ventilation's covered up, probably because it wants to be a generic backplate for maybe a laptop that has a fan here and here or whatever, and then they just apply a different layer of copper on top of it. I'm imagining that's what the reasoning is. See, normally in a video I'd just fast forward through this part, but can't really do that live, unfortunately. So now you get to watch me screw down a back plate. That's exciting. I'm fairly sure all of these are the same length, so... Are they? Oh boy, some of them are longer. Really? That's not good. Did I just do a naughty? I hope I didn't. Oh, computer's on. Okay. Well, I didn't realize that. I thought they were all the same length. Well, let me unscrew... Oh, boy. Let me unscrew those. I'll separate the long ones and the short ones, and we'll get back to it. That's really gross. I don't like how they did that. That's really bad. Normally, you don't want to do that because it's annoying. But, whatever. Alright, so long screws, short screws. Check the maintenance manual. It doesn't. It just says remove 9 screws. What? Oh, that sucks. So now I have to... Are you... Oh my god. I have to use the live replay to figure this out now. I think the short ones are along the bottom. Yeah, the four bottom standoffs are short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, bottom 4. Yep, you're right. You're right. Usually I'm on top of that kind of... Not today. At least we didn't damage the palm rest, because that can happen. You can like put too long of a screw in, and you'll punch right through the palm rest. And you'll have a big ugly gash in your computer. Yep, so that's one of the annoyances you run into with cheaper machines, is that they just make maintenance on them a little more annoying than it should be. For instance, in contrast, something like the, why is that not... Is that just like an empty hole? Yeah, I don't think there's a track that goes down. I kind of just have to line it up correctly and screw it in. What? There we go. Hopefully that was... Yeah, that's where it was supposed to go, I'm sure. There's only 2 types of screws, so... At least according to the maintenance manual. At least, was I looking at the 15-inch one by any chance? No. Okay. Very rigid build. Not much flex to it. Not even much flex here. Palm Deck is actually not that flexy either. It's very sturdy. Okay, well, I'll just start copying onto this from my gaming desktop here. And we'll load up the stress test tools in the meantime while I copy like 80 gigs or so onto it, which probably won't take very long. Yep, so you can see here, keyboard. Nice and backlit. And turn the light off so you can see it easier. I'll show it from a better angle later, but for now, that's a decent view of it. Taking a while for it to identify sensors here. PM bus. So let's see. Looks like it's reporting accurate wattages. Oh, we're a little loud. Okay, so 42C idle. 37C skin temperature report. 4 watts. When I'm at max performance. Let me go back to like better performance. That should drop down a little bit probably. GPU temp. I don't know how useful that would be. But I will show it. They're all in the same power budget, so I mean it really shouldn't make that big of a difference, but we're not doing a graphics stress because it's excessive. Let's go. I'll clear this. I believe we're still in the extreme performance profile. And look at that, we're at looks like 40 watts right now. Yeah, about 40 watts. The temps we're at are not bad. 88C, 89C. I mean, for 40 watts, it's not dying immediately. It's still rising, so we're actually still at like 40 watts. Oh, it's slowly dropping down. Yeah, still the first 2 minutes, so yeah, good point. It is still like handling itself pretty well. I'm in 92C, but actually it's dropping down. I don't know. It's hard to say right now. The boost performance on this core has got to just be nuts. But if we ran R15 on this, it would just smoke everything. And yeah, this is the 4500U. It doesn't even have 12 threads. It's just 6 cores, 6 threads. So yeah, no hyper threading advantage here. It's actually maintaining like 92C at like 35, 36 watts. Huh, 97, 95. 4800U in this might actually be kind of nice. Cause that, well, 4700U, not a 4800U. But yeah, 4700U in this model, that's a possibility later on. And yeah, I think that would actually be a pretty decent, option. Yeah, I mean, we're 3 minutes, 30 seconds in. We're hovering around 90s temperatures wise. Looks like it's still rising a little bit. I mean, you can tell that in the chart that we're not quite like, we're not quite at the peak. And it is still kind of adjusting power limits, it seems. Because now the core and SoC are at to like 32 watts-ish above, about. But yeah, the computer is reporting like 52.6 C on the skin temp. Speaking of which, I'll take some measurements now for the palm rest and see what the temps are at the very top here. Yeah, at the very top of the palm rest, there's an area, very small zone, that you can get like temps up to like 50 C. And let's go above the core here on the keyboard. And above the core is on the left side it's more like 40 C, on the right side it's like on the 30s. And that's on the upper part of the keyboard. Lower part of the keyboard just in general is about 33 to, well, 33C on the left half, and on the right half it's closer to like 20, 28. And in the palm rest area, it's about 27C, pretty much across the board. So that's, I'd say, fairly comfortable. I mean, I'm putting my wrist on this and it doesn't even feel hot. So that's one of the perks of a plastic build, is that you don't get all of that heat saturation everywhere. The keyboard's definitely like warm, but it's not like burning hot by any means, even closer to the hot spot. I put my hand on it and it's like, I don't even know how to describe how warm it is. It's like, I don't know. It just feels, it feels like a computer that's been running like warm for a while. It doesn't feel bad. Yeah, it looks like it is stabilizing at 35. Which is actually really good for the heatsink, because it's not a huge heatsink. But heatsinks of that size tend to be around 35 watts anyway. And this is with stock paste too, so very manageable. I should be able to play some games pretty seriously on this thing. So yeah, it is also a single fan. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I mean, if they would have thrown another fan in, like on the Slim 7, because the Slim 7's like this, where it has a pipe and like 2 fans. I think we'll probably see some really good thermal performance out of the Slim 7, just because of how its heatsink's designed. Okay, so now we're done with this. So I'm gonna just, I'll hit stop here. Close out. What I want to do is I want to load up MSI Afterburner, because MSI Afterburner is good for overlays. I don't know if it'll really work. It might just say no. We'll see. BeamNG.drive, if you're not familiar with it, is a physics benchmark. Well, it's not a benchmark. It's a physics sandbox that you can drive cars in, basically, which is really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. We'll just reset this. It's not complaining about me about integrated graphics, which is nice. Still loading in assets. We'll just keep driving. We're about 30 FPS. CPU usage is not very high. GPU usage is like pinned, so I'm gonna have to lower the GPU settings. Because this game's terribly optimized. Turn off anti-aliasing. We'll just drop this set. Oh, it is already at low. Well then, lowest. Yeah, this game is not good for graphics. I just wanted to see how it performed in terms of like vehicle physics speed and everything. Because the graphics engine in this game just sucks. And it's probably not terribly optimized for Ryzen Mobile anyway, so. And yeah, I mean, we're hardly using any CPU. I really hope these Ryzen CPUs, well, Ryzen laptops just start getting Thunderbolt support. Just because it'd make it so much nicer to play games on them. Because sure, the graphics are pretty good out of the box, but it helps to just have possibility for external graphics. So yeah, this is holding up pretty well. Let me load up a bigger vehicle just for testing purposes. CPU is a little higher now, 57. Wow, it's actually doing like 29 watts. Yeah, so this game is fairly intensive on the CPU. Using up pretty much all of our power budget on the CPU right now. So that's probably why it's choking so much, actually. Because of just how AMD handles their power budgeting. Also, sorry about the Discord noise. Hold on, let me just... Okay, well now that we've done that, let's fire up GTA instead of screwing around. Your computer does not meet the minimum requirements. Okay. That's too bad for me. Okay, so on the right side of the device, there are 2 USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type A connectors. There is a 4-in-1 memory card reader slot that supports SD cards, SEHC cards, SDXC cards, or multimedia cards. There's a power button. On the opposite side, there's the Power DC-in connector with the little charging light. Solid white is 91 to 100%. Solid amber is 1 to 90%, and off is not connected. There's the HDMI port, which I think can do 4K 30. I don't think it does 4K 60. There's a USB-C connector, which, yeah, actually, according to the user guide, can actually do data. The product page says it can't, but I guess it can. Also, it sounds like the audio's a little crunchy. See if I can fix that. Nah, I can't. That's unfortunate. Well, you'll have to deal with crunchy audio. I'm gonna turn this... Oh boy, only 512 megabytes allocated for... That's not good. GTA is really finicky with settings. Also, I think there's more allocated to the GPU than that. Yeah, there's like 8 gigs of shared memory, so hopefully the laptop won't die. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully it doesn't implode. That would be preferred. So I'm gonna turn... All the settings are at normal, so I'll just... It looks like it's already pretty much prepared. Let's load up story mode. See how this runs. I might have to bring the settings up. Crunchy audio. Where's my capture card being crappy? Oh, crap. Where's my mouse? need to get a mouse. Looks like we're just playing with the trackpad. Which is kind of crap, but...
Come on! In the back! Hands back! Come on, mister. Give me everything you want. Don't even think about it.
GPU's pinning.
Get in there! Sit tight! I'll handle the plastic! Don't blow yourself up! Listen up! Hurry! What's he doing? Get these assholes in the closet! Leave us alone! In the back! Come on!
Whoops.
Show me the money! Slow and steady, T. Slow and steady.
Run into some palm rest rejection issues. Hold on. Actually, another thing. Let me change this back to best performance.
There it is. We're just taking. There's enough here for us all to enjoy.
Depends on how you look at it.
Come on! Move it! Come on, B! Give it up!
I don't really have a solution for that. Hold on. Monitor only. There we go. Is that better? This touchpad's not designed for gaming.
What are you doing? Find some cover! Oh, fuck! You hear that? Move! Get down!
Yeah, half scaling is fine.
Fuck you guys! Don't be an idiot! You shouldn't have been a cop! Press forward! Drop it, Rick! Chair is still wide open! Move! Come on! The kid might have failed! This wasn't in the job description! Dumb fucking cops! Who snitched? Get out of the way or suffer the consequence! I ain't laying down for them!
Yeah, it's alright.
We move quick, we can beat the train! We're getting there! Cops! Coming our way! Be cool! We ain't made this car yet! Man, I'll believe in this bird when I get eyes on him! Kill me, you prick! Fucking die! All of you!
Yeah, sorry if this is not terribly interesting.
I'm about to go nice and slow for your bitch ass.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, remember we gotta be careful with these rides, homie. The Simeon ain't about to dock my pay again.
Homie, man, if you need some bread, I can hook you up with JB's tote truck. It ain't got glamour, but it's some money to be made.
So him and Tanya can smoke crack in peace? Enough bad credit going around, homie. It's like it's an endless supply in this fucked up ass country.
Right.
Alright.
Come on, Frank.
Hey, I'll come at you from the shoulders, homie.
What the fuck?
Oh, we filming shit here, huh?
gotta stay on your gridiron.
Nigga into some time over nickels and dimes. I stick
Oh,
to
crap.
repos, dog.
Gotta keep up with the man.
That's meant to be. Yo, shit.
Hey, screw you too, homie. Get off the road.
Lack of movies.
Left through the parking lot.
Shit, cool, homie.
The boss act in wild swings again as stock strong.
Okay, so stats wise, average 33 watts, average temp 89C, average skin temp 56C, average GPU wattage 0. That doesn't seem to be correct. Yeah, so the fan's spinning still. So yeah, so what I want to check out now is, let's test the speaker volume. Just play Supernova. And let's see here. So I can fold it like this. I've got it sitting like that now. Where you put your palm rest at risk of getting scratched, but let's see if you can actually draw, like, is it actually like not registering the pen at the right spots? No, it's fine. Oops. Let's go open up Vantage again, and let's switch back to intelligent cooling. Change this back to, oh, it's at better performance already. Let's do a system update. See if there's any up-to-date drivers or anything that we need to get. Might have to re-benchmark afterwards. Oh yeah, and let's see, how does it handle itself like this? Fairly well. Is it nice to hold in the hand? It's heavy. It is a full laptop, so I guess you'd kind of expect that. According to the product page, it is 3.63 pounds. So there's that. There's no updates available, so we're all up to date. That's good. Double check the device. BIOS is up to date. Everything's up to date. Speaking of which, we could look at the BIOS. We should load up Beta 64 and check and see what model display this thing has on it. I will have my own Discord at some point for the channel when it makes sense to do that, but yeah. Okay, monitor. It's a NV140 FHM N4U. So what are the specs on that one? Okay, so on here, this is rated as an 800:1 contrast ratio. So again, this is Ada 64's details, and we can see that on this data sheet. 45% NTSC. Let's go to the dedicated specs section here. It's rated at 250 nits. Yeah, 250 nits, 45% NTSC, 63% sRGB, 47% DCI-P3. Adobe RGB is 48%, and Rec 2020 is 34%. Power consumption is 2.85 watts, so this appears to be a somewhat low power panel. And okay, let me look up this processor real quick.
Bruh.
We blue screened? Why did we blue screen? Now that's weird. Something got really upset, but now we have the perfect opportunity to test the fingerprint reader. It works really well. Let's test the webcam. So yeah, you're going to be able to see my lovely face for this, just because that's mandatory for this kind of thing. And it's me. Wow. I'm on screen. That's crazy. Yep, so this is me. Epic. And that looked okay. I mean, I'll test the webcam better in the future, but that's just how I'm testing it for now. Yeah, the contrast is quite trash in this panel now that I'm actually looking at it. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a test real quick. Let's see if, how well the Wi-Fi card works in this. See if we have any weird Wi-Fi issues. So ping T, we'll ping Google over and over and see if we get any weird responses or latency or anything like that. And I will switch to the HDMI view for this. Basically on the Yoga 730 with its Realtek Wi-Fi, whenever you would do this, there would be random times where it would just not like talk to Google and it would drop out. If you go to the store and you find a Yoga 730, look for one of the ones with like a graphics card in it, and then just open up Command Prompt or PowerShell and type ping-t 8.8.8.8, and then you'll be able to see it for yourself in person. It's quite terrible. Randomly just drops packets and stops responding. Luckily, this Realtek Wi-Fi card in this machine seems to actually be fine. So we managed to get one that's not terribly defective. It's still yet to be seen like how good it'll be, but we'll see as things go on here. Based on what I know about my network, this is within the range of tolerable, because when you have it bugging out, it'll be like 500 milliseconds and then like 10,000 milliseconds, and they'll just like stop responding for like 5 seconds and then they'll come back. So yeah, this is good. Let's do a mic test. So let's see what this sounds.
This is a test of the microphone
on the
Flex
excuse any
5.
pops or anything.
This is to test how it sounds coming through the laptop speakers, and also to test how it sounds like just being played through digital audio. Got some typing, see what it sounds like. Just some normal. I'll just type one. Some letter, no. I keep pausing it.
You can really hear the image, the audio processing, trying to cut out these keys.
And I'll just say hello, goodbye, hello. Tap the chassis. Does appear to be picking up. I'll just tap the chassis. Does appear to be picking up.
Yeah, that's just my computer being garbage.
Hello, goodbye, hello.
Don't worry about the weird audio glitches. That's just this terrible MSI motherboard I have in my desktop that just can't handle sound correctly. I'm gonna have to get a new one at some point, but let's see what the microphone sounds like without any of that like horrifying processing here. This is a test of the microphone without any additional processing. Yeah, it sounds much better. To see how it sounds. The volume is also at 100% now. Yeah, compared to this.
This is a test of the microphone on the...
Or this. This is a test of the microphone. Yeah, that sounds like infinitely better without the processing on. Wow. Without any additional processing applied to it to see how it sounds. I'm sure the keys will be loud though. The volume is also at 100% now. Some keys. Yep. Some lighter presses. Harder presses. Yeah. See what this sounds like with a chassis? Just. Yep. It's obviously loud. It's a laptop. But, I mean, the mic's not terrible. Let me bring this closer to my face when I'm recording so that it's more realistic here. Oh, so you're asking Flex 5 or Swift 3? That's a good question. This is a test up close in the lab. Oh, that's distorting. Let me drop down this mic boost. So Flex 5 or Swift 3, I'd honestly have to look into the Swift 3 a little bit more, because isn't there a Ryzen Swift 3? I'll just do a quick comparison for you. I'm wondering if this is not even American. I want the American one. Swift 3 has the 4700U. It's 650, and all I've read online is that the screen is bad. Well, let's see how bad it is. Did we review it? No. Average display with low color gamut and brightness. Oh yeah, this is the overclocker review. Yeah, so what? How much RAM does it come with for 650? That's my question. 8 gig? Yeah, no. This thing has 16 gigabytes, believe it or not. Which is actually it's a lot for 600 bucks. Like just honestly, it is. I can show in a let me pull up a internal shot. I'll load this into the stream so you can see it. Oh yeah, the laptop has an SD card reader. We could use that. Okay, so the SD card reader is not one of those that goes all the way in. It's like a halfway in SD card reader. It's a full size. Oh god, mic's wrong way. It's a full size SD card reader though. Let me switch back to camera view. So yeah, I'll pull up this and date modified, and here we are. Yep. So here's the internals. Yeah. So yeah, this one has a spot for a 2280 SSD, and it is soldered 16 gigs, but it is 16 gigs. Like, you get 16 gigs of storage. And it's also a dual pipe cooler. I mean, look at that. Ooh. I don't think the Swift has a dual pipe cooler. My understanding is that based on the overclocker review, I think they took the bottom off of it. Oh yeah, and the Swift has big sticking point for a lot of people with this Swift is it has one of these. You see the power button there? Yeah, a lot of people don't like that. This one doesn't. It has it on the side. I can show you. Let me just. There's the power button. It's nice. But yeah, this Flex is just a really good deal. I mean, again, 16 bucks. Oh, here's the panel. Brightness ranges to 288. Okay. It doesn't look like this display is PWM. But yeah, I can't really say which one's gonna be better, just because oh yeah, the NV140 FHM. So based on their measure, actually, let me just compare both of these. B140 HAN 040. Yep, there we go. And there we go, and we'll just compare them. And based on the specs alone, already I can tell that yeah, this one's a bit better of a panel. Let me switch to a desktop capture here so that you can see. Yep, so here's the display capture. Oh, he left. Well, whatever. But yeah, so comparing the Swift 3 to the Flex 5, you can see that the Swift 3... Can we do a direct comparison on this? Yeah, add to compare. Take a look. Both 1080. Flex 5 has a PCA bent panel instead of a normal PCA flat. So once the screen stops, I believe it's the panel is on the actual back. No, the connector is on the actual back of the panel, which makes sense given that it's a glass touchscreen. Contrast is better. The display color is larger. There's a different gray method. Apparently the NTSC is better and the Adobe RGB is better. The response time is shorter. White variation, I guess, is a little worse. The power consumption is less, which is nice. Backlight consumes a little bit more power. I mean, they're pretty similar. Yeah. So honestly, if you're gonna like put these in front of me, I would say that just this Flex 5 is a super good deal. I mean, some of the budget for the Swift, I guess, just goes into the metal that they use, because I'm pretty sure it's they use metal. So I mean, if the Swift 3 is cheaper, like maybe $100-$200 less, then I could see it. But honestly, it's just not a good option, in my opinion, compared to the Flex 5 as I've seen so far. Just because just the better value proposition in general. Might as well test the SD card. So we'll just do yeah, they have the Flex 5 14 Intel, which starts at $635, so it's like another 35 bucks more expensive, and you only get 8 gigs of memory and a i3. I'll have to test the Wi-Fi a bit more too. I'll have to benchmark it a little, see if I can get it to freak out or anything like that. We'll be able to test it again with my Tech Republic USB 3.0 card reader, model number TUC310. This is probably the best card reader I have in the house. Could always test it against the other laptops I have, but not super interested in doing that right now. Yeah, so 16 gigabyte 3200 megahertz is the best you can get on this model. Is this the one with the 4500U? Yep, it is. It's the 4500U version. Let me pull up the specs again. But yeah, if you are considering getting this after watching the live stream, like if you haven't, or even just at the render on the, yeah. But yeah, if you want to get it, I'd recommend like just use the link in the description because it'll help support my content and whatnot because it's an affiliate link. So yeah, if you're gonna buy it after checking out my videos or anything, please use the link in the description. I appreciate it a lot, but it's not necessary. You can do it on your own if you want. But yeah, I mean, if you already ordered it, then that's exciting because this is a pretty awesome machine. Wait, it's using UWMP. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, the main promo shots. That's hilarious. Wow. Thanks for pointing that out. That's kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, it looks like this is what we got. So can I... And that's drive D again. We'll run the same test. It does look like we're getting slightly better results on the external card reader, which is interesting. Yeah, we're getting like a few megabytes better just in general. That's interesting. Looks like the random 4K Q1T1 is about the same. Actually, no, it is higher. It's higher. I can't explain this. It's just a little better. And again, I'm using a SanDisk Extreme in this crappy little card reader I have. Comparing it against the built-in SD card reader. This is the external one I'm testing with. Which the external one is getting slightly better results. But they're within like... Actually, one of the random reads is like... That's like 2 megabytes faster. Well, 1.5-ish. 1.25. Yeah. It looks like it has a 3.5mm jack, so we can always test that out. I'll be doing more testing in the coming days on this machine anyway. Just wanted to do a live stream just to show it off, because there's not a lot of content on the internet about this. The write's actually better too. That's really weird, because if it's so low, I mean, you'd think that the dedicated hardware one would be a little faster, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Realtek PC. Oh, it's a PCIe card reader. Yeah, that's really weird. It's surprising that the PCIe card reader is just that much slower. I honestly thought it would be better than that, but it's not. Because it is getting a little beaten by our external reader, so... Yeah, I'll be testing some other stuff, because SD cards are not super exciting. Oh, if you can do emulators such as Dolphin / PC SX2. Yeah, I can do Dolphin. I'll do Dolphin and PCSX2. I'll make note of those. I'll make a note. And then do that off stream, because that requires a fair bit of downloading. How's the webcam? I can test that again. Yep. No signal? Really? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. So that's how the webcam looks. Me and my messy quarantine hair and everything. Put the light on me. It looks fine. I mean, take a picture and pull it up. I mean, it looks like a decent webcam. At least in my opinion. It was a terrible photo. Also, it looked really blue because that's just how my light was. It doesn't look that blue. Yeah, better than my $100 ThinkPad, yeah. Yeah, there used to be some really terrible webcams, and it's just not... It's better now, at least. I won't be running Optifine because I'd have to download that extra and also install Java. So I'll just do that in a later video, of course, but... this is mostly just to see how it performs, because the other Ryzen ThinkPad I have, the Minecraft performance on it was actually really bad. Which is surprising given that the graphics card in it is so good. But the issue ended up just being how terrible the single core performance was in the 3500U. How do you even pronounce that? Zen 2 mobile is supposed to be a lot better for single core than Zen Plus was. So this is just to see how good the internet is. And it is handling my entire network pretty fine. Yeah, so the results are pretty clear. For whatever reason, my external USB... Oh, which Wi-Fi card does it have? AX200? No, unfortunately it has a Realtek 8822 something. Let me double check what exactly it is. Yeah, here's the SD card benchmark results for future me and anyone who's watching the live stream right now. Left is internal, right is the external, cheap, like $15 card reader, right there. But yeah, so let's take a look at the Wi-Fi. It is an 8822 CE from Realtek. And it is actually probably one of the better Realtek cards I've used. Because I know the 8822BE is an absolute pile. It sucks. At least I think that's what it's called. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure 8822BE exists. Yes, it does. Yeah, Realtek 8822BE is really bad, but the CE one seems to be okay. So that's my 2 cents on that. So we have, whoops, we have Minecraft. Let's do a survival server first. My survival server. Now we're gonna not have many latency issues here first of all. This is my custom game mode server. Let me do a few things here. I'll turn this all the way up so that you can actually see. I'll turn the max per frame rate all the way up. F3. Oh. Please die, zombie. There we go. I gotta change this back down to smaller GUI so that I can actually see things. There we go. Yeah, so 30, 40 FPS, and that's at 12 chunks. Let's go down to 8. Yep. Hey, idiot, you died at 123.76. Don't let your stuff respawn. Yep. Really? Freaking trolls. Someone griefed the server. That's fixed now. So yeah, let's see. Can I tweak the settings anymore? Just set these to like minimum. So what's holding us back now? Game renderer mostly. And update display. Interesting. Is VSync on? Yeah, I'll turn that off. There we go. Change this back to yeah, okay, so it's just VSync. Yeah, this is actually great. 100 and something FPS. Wow. Very playable. Much more playable than the 3500U. And this isn't even that much better of a graphics card. Well, just graphics in general. $600, remember. This is like pristine premier Minecraft experience, and we're not even using Optifine. And that was $600, like as cheap as it gets. That works. Let's try out items randomize. Oh, yeah, so this is my custom game mode where crafting recipes, they basically randomize every minute or so. They randomize all the results of the crafting recipes randomize. and they can randomize to the result of smelting. They can also just randomize to other recipes. It's just a constantly changing game mode. Flowers are pretty much the most valuable thing. No, that's not even true. I think like wooden planks are about the most viable resource, as well as like ingots. Ingots are very useful. Diamond is garbage. Crap. Yep, okay. Well, now we're getting lag. I have to lower the render distance down. Yeah, we're good now. What's going on? Can I not boost in this area? Or is that just a fluke? There's like no one here. Did I throw my compass? Let's go to Mindplex. Yeah, okay. So everything's... It plays Minecraft fairly well on at least multiplayer. Let's try a single player. I'm gonna need to mess with my capture card a bit because it's a little buggy handling things sometimes, but yeah, so Minecraft single player. We're at I think a render distance of 5 chunks. Yeah, it's taking the crap. Yeah, this is perfect for single player or just survival servers. I mean, you might have to tweak settings for more intensive type maps and whatnot, but this is not a bad experience at all. Especially for 1.15, which is like notoriously kind of difficult to run. Let me limit the FPS so we're not constantly pinning the CPU. Might get a little bit more GPU headroom then. We'll increase the stutters a little bit, but Minecraft is not super well optimized. Yeah, alright, I think that's fairly indicative of what you should expect. Yeah. So that's Minecraft. Works well. This is without Optifine too. Yep. It is, and that's especially impressive because you need Optifine to run on like UHD 630 above 60 FPS, and with Optifine it would probably just like chew through it like no problem. Actually, let me float up Hardware Info 64, see what idle draws like. Okay, so let's look at the sensors now. At idle, we are drawing about 5 watts. Well, at relative idle. Let me double check the battery settings here. Let's go to better battery. We're also going to close down ADA 64. 6 watts. Yeah, I mean, this is not bad at all. I mean, what's our usage like overall? 5%, 6 watts. And if we've got a 50-something hour battery, what is it? 52 watt hour, and we're around 6 watts. That's about 8 hours. Yeah, 8-9 hours. Not bad. That's, like, you know, optimistic. If I turn the brightness back to like more like a comfortable level for me, let's see what it's at. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. Let's reset this because it's probably not super accurate now. Let's load up YouTube. We'll stream some 1080p YouTube content. 10 watts, that's like 5 to 6 hours of video playback. That's not terribly impressive, but I mean, we are dealing with like a $600 machine here. I'm not sure where all the draw is coming from. Let me go and check out Vantage. intelligent cooling. And turn that off. See, does that help at all? No, we're at like 14 watts now, jeez. But yeah, the Amazon reviewers are actually pretty accurate on this one. The computer is just a lot for the price. Screen is perfectly usable for video content. I mean, I'm just watching this 1080p video right now, and it's fine. Contrast is not like overly bad. Still getting the content. Doesn't look like my screen is all weird and washed out. Nah. Speaking of which, we could also check out DPC latency, but latency mon start. I don't want this indicator. Go away. Yep, still good latency mon results. Perfectly usable. I know it was spiking earlier, but it we had some results where it was like spiking pretty high, but that was just I think it had more to do with what I was doing on the system regarding power management, because I was changing some settings, which is obviously going to freeze some things for a second in some machines. So I don't really think that's a fair view of the latency on the machine overall. So yeah, we're doing some video content just to see how well it'll handle it. I'll just leave that in the background. Browse around even. How's the trackpad? Let me show you. That's what the camera sounds like. Wow. Okay, so this is the trackpad after I've been using it for a little bit. I mean,
don't overpay for Best Buy.
Oh my god. Oh, well, there's a big spike in latency right there. Interesting. I don't know what that was. Might have been... Oh, you know what it was? It was probably me unplugging HDMI. Yeah, so this doesn't really want to come off, but... I mean, it's a plastic trackpad. I don't know. I like it. It works fairly well. I haven't really found an instance where... like, it's not accurately tracking my mouse here. Like... just works. We can test out, can I zoom with it? Yep. Can also zoom on the screen. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good trackpad. It's a precision one. If you go into the touchpad settings, it'll tell you that it's precision, so you get all the lovely features of Microsoft Precision, which is nice. We can do the keyboard backlight again. There's the keyboard backlight. I said I was going to get a good shot of this, so might as well do that. So this is low. I believe this is high, and that's off. It's not PWM like some can be, which is nice. Yeah, I like the trackpad. Also, let me lock the computer here. The fingerprint reader. I'll turn the brightness down a little bit more. Whoops. So you can see. I'll just touch it. And easy. Works really good. It actually works a bit better than the Yoga's reader because it was smaller. The Yoga 730's reader. This one's a lot better. Again, though, the hinge is really nice. Like, well, that's the point where it gets stiff because it needs to. But I mean, that's like just effortless. It's nice. And then this is the point where it gets stiff so that you can have it in a nice angle in like tent mode or something. I think the rest of the way after this point is pretty stiff. Yeah. I'm gonna start recommending this laptop to family now. Yeah. That's great. If you do that, I'd really appreciate it if you shared the link in the description with them. Just because it is a Amazon affiliate link. So I will make a little bit of money for every time it gets purchased. So if you do recommend the laptop to anybody, it'd be super awesome if you did share my link. I don't really care if you do or not. Just it'd be great if you did, because I need at least one purchase to get the affiliate program set up, because it's just one of the requirements. So yeah, if you know anyone who's gonna do it, then just it'd be super awesome of you to do that. I'd really appreciate it. Completely up to you. Yeah, so what else to do? Let's see, is the bottom of the computer super warm at all? Let's test. Over the fan. Is the fan over here? I don't remember now. I had the light off. Which side's the fan on? Oh, it's this side. So where the fan is, it's 32 over here, 34, 35. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not playing video, but at idle, it's perfectly comfortable. I mean, it's warm. Obviously, I can feel it's warm. It's warmer than body temp, but it's not obnoxiously warm by any means. Keyboard layout wise, let's see. I don't know, it's pretty standard IdeaPad layout. Dolby audio. Does that mean we have the Dolby? Yep. Our little Dolby window here. Let's see here. Music profile's on. So what if we turn this off? How's it sound? Sounds like Supernova. Still loud. Doesn't distort though, which is good. Better than some laptops when you do that just like totally lose their crap. Which SSD would you recommend to replace the one it comes with? Okay, so some good SSDs. I'm not sure if the system supports SATA SSD. No, it doesn't. Okay, so some good SSDs would be like a Sabrent Rocket. It's this one right here, this Sabrent Rocket. I've bought 2 of these. These are the bomb. You can get them fairly cheap usually. I wouldn't buy them for anything over 150 for 1 terabyte because that's just getting expensive. I usually get them for like around a 125, 120 when I buy them. So I'd recommend getting that. I'll have a link in the description for these because I love them. Otherwise, there's M.2. Yeah, it's M.2 only. M.2 NVMe is the only thing this computer supports. Yeah, Sabrent Rockets are just lovely. I love them. Other than that, there is... So, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't, like, super suggest getting it at the moment. I'd wait for a better deal on it, because that's by far not the best deal I've seen. Yeah, I'll post it in chat here. Here you go. Let me look at some other options, too. Silicon Power A80 1 terabyte. Yeah, and this one right here, I'm going to post another link. This Silicon Power one is apparently literally the same SSD, but just cheaper. So if you want to get that one, you can. It should be pretty much the same. Those are just the 1 terabyte options because I generally recommend a terabyte. I like terabytes, well, a terabyte of storage personally. Some people might be overkill, so you can get like a smaller one, but yeah, I generally recommend 1 terabyte just because the value you get at 1 terabyte is about as good as it gets. Below 1 terabyte is just like you get kind of crap value, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's what I'd recommend for SSDs. I'd also recommend, if you're already going to be in the system, that you purchase just like an AX200 off Amazon. Like, let me see. 22, you might have to go on eBay actually. Because eBay, if you look up AX200, you can find plenty of domestic sellers for this. I would not pay anything over 15 bucks for an AX200. You should be able to find one for $15 or so. If you can't find a better deal than that, you can always... I bought this one, didn't open it as a graduation gift. No mention of pen included. The one on your desk came with it. Yes. Basically, the listing doesn't mention the pen, but the part number of the box, let me look at that again. I'll actually show it on stream so that I can be 100% clear with you. Because if you have the box, you can verify this. So on the box, you'll see that there is a MTM number here. If your MTM is the same as mine, then you'll have the pen. That is, sorry, let me focus this again. 81X200005US. That's the one that comes with the pen. If you got another one that doesn't come with the pen, then unfortunately you didn't. But if it is that exact MTM, then you should have the pen thrown in the box, and it'll be like in a little bubble wrap sleeve here. Yeah, so yeah, if you're getting a replacement Wi-Fi card, I'd recommend going to eBay for that, because on Amazon they're just expensive. They're the same. You're not gonna get a bootleg. You're not gonna get a bootleg Wi-Fi card off eBay, and if you do, then you can just use buyer protection. Don't even sweat about it. Yep, and I'll show the pen holder off. Turn the mic around there. Okay, so yep, the pen holder. You just kind of slide the pen in this way. Sits in there. Has a nice stopper on the back that prevents it from like going all the way through. Then you can just pull it out, and you got the stylus. Simple as that. And it's specifically the Lenovo graphics stylus. Lenovo digital pen. That's what it's called. Yeah, so it comes with the Lenovo digital pen, which is normally like a $45 or $32 pen. Which, yeah, I mean, it's a decent deal. The pen is okay. It's not as good as the like $50 yeah, it's not as good as the Active Pen 2. Yeah, I like the Active Pen 2 a lot more. But this pen, I mean, you can draw with it. It's not a problem to do that. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's fine. Screen moves around a lot, but well, not a lot. It's actually fine. I'd recommend just supporting it with your hand when you're drawing, because then you can have it really stable, or just use it flat on the table or something like that. Just personally, that's how I'd recommend using it. How are the thermals? Thermals are actually really good. We were maintaining 35 watts at like low 90s. Can you run any games? Yeah, we were running Grand Theft Auto 5 earlier, and we were getting around... If you dropped the resolution to like half, then you could get away with playable frame rates. You're going to have to sacrifice because it's integrated. The fan control is actually pretty good. I haven't noticed it spinning up and being annoying. We don't have manual fan control, but we can open up Vantage and manually tweak at least the thermal profile, so it can be quieter or louder based on what you want. Minecraft's actually like super playable on this machine, even the latest versions, without even installing Optifine or any tweaks to optimize things. How's the trackpad? The trackpad is it's a trackpad. There's nothing too notable about it, which is good. It's not like whenever I'm using it, it's not like difficult to use. I'm noticing that never mind. Okay. Like, you can't tap on the right side to get it to right click, but that might just be my touchpad settings. You can tap the click. You can scroll pretty easily. I mean, scrolling is smooth. You can zoom. You can switch around. Gestures work. Webcam and mic quality. Well, let me load up a photo I took. My terrible photo. Actually, let me take a new one, because that one looks terrible. Okay, what is happening? That's lovely. Hold on. Give me a second. The capture card's freaking out. Don't worry, nothing's... There we go. Okay, so it's got my face now. Let me... There. Yep, so quality, I mean, looks good. I mean, you can check this book out. Looks very readable. Overall, I mean, can't complain about the webcam quality at least. Let me load up. Silicon Power SSD is good for this. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd recommend buying it if you're looking to upgrade the SSD in here. The SSD it comes with stock, at least in mine, comes with this little like a spacer adapter thing. But this is just, yeah, you don't have to worry about this. You'll just take this out and remove that and screw it in. One thing I would caution you about when removing the back cover is that the bottom 4 screws are actually shorter than the rest of them, so don't try screwing in one of the longer screws because there's a chance you could damage the palm rest in the process. So yeah, just make sure you're using the small screws on the bottom and the rest of them are long. Here's the cooler too. Cooler is actually pretty substantial for just a processor. Lenovo was pretty generous with us for $600. I mean, that's pretty serious, and that's why we're able to sustain like really good temps and wattages. I mean, that's the whole reason. Oh yeah, and here's the Realtek card. I mean, it's blurry in the photo, but I'll take a better one later. One more recording here. It'll just be like, this is a recording that I'm taking while talking into my microphone. This is a normal talking voice, I believe. It's hard to tell because I have a headset on, so I don't really know how loud I'm being, but I think this is how loud I normally talk. Okay, so we'll turn off all effects. This is with all effects disabled. Yep, there's that high-pitched squealing noise. I think what's funny is on the Yoga, there was a similar thing I was experiencing with the microphone where whenever the stylus input, or whenever the stylus was close enough to the screen where it was kind of detecting it, there'd be a high-pitched like interference in the microphone. I think it probably has something to do with the Wacom, with like the Wacom pen input just kind of messing with the microphone, and that's why the processing helps so much. So I'd recommend keeping it on, surprisingly, because it just makes your voice tolerable. This is a test with just beamforming on. Yeah, that's much better already. So yeah, so I'd recommend keeping the processing on just for the sake of being audible and not hurting other people's ears while you're talking to them in like a voice call. Oh, I haven't checked out and seen if notebook fan control or anything like that will try and control the fans. I'll do that later because that can be quite involved. So the settings we have these power settings: intelligent cooling, extreme performance, and battery saving. You can switch between them with FN plus Q, which I can just show off by switching back to the camera here. Yep, so yep, you can switch between them with FN plus Q pretty easily. So that's how I'd recommend doing it. Intelligent cooling is this one. You can turn on and off flip to boot in here. Oh boy. Yep. You can turn on and off flip to boot, which is basically when you open the computer, it turns on. I would recommend turning that off, especially if you're going to do maintenance on the machine, because it'll turn on if you open the lid at all. Vantage toolbar. This is apparently Energy Star certified, which whatever that's worth to you. We have the Dolby settings, which cool. This one. Yep, suppress keyboard noise. Da da da. Okay. Display and camera view. Hello. You can adjust contrast and whatnot in there, which is nice. You can adjust that. You can adjust the keyboard backlight. Touchpad controls. Oh, right here. Okay. Alright, so let's load up the BIOS. Any average battery on this? I would say, given that it was drawing like around 9 watts during YouTube playback, I'd say you could see maybe 5 to 6 hours of YouTube runtime. and then optimistically like 8 to 9 hours in anything that's less intensive. But that's if you can do that. Graphics drivers, is AMD Lenovo using some OEM graphics driver, or is it the regular Adrenalin 2020 drivers? Let's check. They are not using 2020, I don't believe. No. Yep, it's a specific Lenovo driver. You could always install your own version of the AMD drivers, the generic ones, if you wanted to. I'll probably test with the generic drivers to see if it makes any difference, but my voice is starting to go, I think. Been talking for like 4 hours. But yeah, average battery, I'd say probably around 6 hours, reasonable runtime. Let's reboot into the BIOS now. I'll check that out. I'll hit the Novo button. There we go. It's just a little like pinhole on the right side of the chassis you can press with a very small thing, and then you can enter the BIOS easily. Okay, so let me just get nice in here so you can see it. Yep, you can enable and disable SVM. You can enable BIOS flashback, foolproof FN control, 1 key battery. When shut down, attaching AC or knocking keyboard will trigger showing battery and AC information. We'll have to test that out. Secure boot. Yeah, pretty much what you'd expect. I'm imagining there's probably a debug BIOS you could get to, but I don't want to do that right now. That's a pain to try to get into, so that'll be an off-stream thing. I'll see if I can find one. What else do I want to do? Anything left? Let's see. Check information. SK Hynix. Da-da-da. What was I gonna do? I always forget. I keep forgetting things. It's not good. Need to focus. Oh yeah, we're gonna test the shutdown thing. What did it say? Attaching AC or knocking keyboard. Okay, so we'll just exit saving changes and then power the system down. There you go. So press the space bar and what do we get? The keyboard lit up. Oh. It boots the computer for a second to show you the battery percentage. Interesting. Well, that's kind of handy. I think it does the same. It says it does the same thing when you plug it in. Let's plug it in. If I can get the cable untangled from the camera stand. And we'll plug it in, and the keyboard will probably light up for a second. Maybe? No? Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. You can just hit space whenever it's off and check the battery percentage. Don't have to doubt it or be worried about it if you're going on a trip or something. Does it charge with USB-C? Yeah. Because it's the USB-C charger. I'll show you that right now. Turn the light on. USB-C charger right here. It does support DC barrel charging, but this model does not come with the DC barrel. It just comes with a USB-C charger, just so you know. I believe it's, let me double check PSRef here. PSRef is Lenovo's reference sheet site, by the way. I don't see it specifically saying it supports USB PD, but it supports quick charging up to 80% in an hour. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's USB PD. I'm sure if I grabbed one of my other USB-C chargers I have around here, it would just work. So, see here, any other stuff we should talk about? Full-size SD card reader here, which is nice. It's a little bit worse than the 3.0 card reader I have, but it's usable enough where I'd not carry around the card reader and just use that. And I think if you got like a half-height card, you could probably just keep it in there. It'd be hard to remove it, but you'd be able to just keep it in there and use microSDs or something with it as an adapter or something like that. If you want to do that. Otherwise, you can just upgrade the SSD inside since it's not soldered, which is nice. I'm going to be comparing it with a Intel machine that can handle about similar thermals without dying, well, without like totally stifling itself in heat. Specifically the Latitude 5401. What's funny is the 5401's another $200. Yeah, we've pretty much covered everything today. Everything I can go over. Yeah, so I'll be doing a nice produced review of this machine soon. You'll see the Latitude 5401 review come out before, but yeah, so I'll be covering this thing more in depth and more of my opinions on things as the week goes on. Yeah, so again, if you're watching the recording or you're still here in the live stream and you're interested in purchasing one of these, I have a link in the description for this exact model, including the pen and everything. It's $600. So if you're looking for a nice machine that's pretty much the best value buy you can get at the moment in terms of budget machines, I would grab this one while it's available because it's not going to be there long. Links in the description. If you're looking to upgrade the SSD, I have 2 SSDs linked in the description that should be compatible. They're both 1 terabyte and they're one's cheaper. You can just pick whichever one you want. Again, using the link in the description supports the channel. If you enjoy the content or you found this useful, I'd recommend purchasing through the links. This stream will be unlisted. I will be publishing an edited version. So just if you want to see that, be sure to be subscribed. And that'll come out soon, probably by the end of the day, if not tomorrow. It'll be an edited down version of this live stream that you can share with people. And later on, I will be doing a full review. But yeah, so just stay tuned if you want. Otherwise, that's all I have really for today. If there's no other questions, I'll be ending the stream in 5 minutes.